opportunity to share thoughts on a subject that is very passionate to me, cryptocurrencies. I have been in this space for a while, and it's been a very exciting opportunity that one eventually got to make an impact. Okay, so I don't really want to waste so much time because it's easy for people to find out about who someone is. Once they're interested, they can just get the information online. So I'm just a technology guy who is a friend to every disruptive technology that you can find out there. So I'm glad to meet every one of you young people across Africa. And I look forward for us to have a great time in this webinar this morning. Thank you.
Okay, well, that's amazing. Well, Kate, the next.
Good morning, everyone. It's also a very big pleasure to be part of this. I always say this anywhere I find myself talking about cryptocurrency. It's something that I happily joined in conversation about because it has meant a lot to me, or it means a lot to me, and it's going to change a lot about how we see money and distribute wealth in our generation. So it's actually a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much.
Wow, that's amazing. So I think the next person will be Elisha, but he will be joining us soon. So we should just get started. So as the theme implies, getting started with cryptocurrency, there is a lot of things going on in the crypto space right now. So, but then a lot of claims about cryptocurrency, and what people need right now is the education about cryptocurrencies, what cryptocurrencies are, and also what is their importance. So this is what we are all here today to discuss about with you people. So getting started, I think the first question is, let me, Chimezie, you are to answer this. I'll just be throwing you some few questions about cryptocurrency, then we'll hear what are your thoughts about them. So what will you tell the people about them? So first of all, what are cryptocurrencies?
Okay, thank you for that question. Cryptocurrencies, even from the word itself, it's easy to deduce what they are. It is split into, you have crypto and you have currency. So crypto here talks about something that you encrypt, something that you hide. You don't want people to see it, so you encrypt it. Then currency, of course, is it has to do with a medium of exchange. So in a nutshell, it could be termed that cryptocurrency is an encrypted medium of exchange, so to speak, that is going in a literal translation and translation. Okay, so, but generally it is an instrument that is created using computer technology. Foremost of those technology being cryptography, which is a study of hiding digital information. That's what cryptography is. So when you say that you are doing cryptocurrency, means that you are utilizing cryptographically generated digital currency, digital instrument of exchange, either peer-to-peer or digital instrument of value that can help somebody to be an owner of an asset electronically. So the life of cryptocurrencies begins and ends on the digital platform. It's not physical. It is not something that you can ever lay your physical hands on. Okay, it's all digital generated assets. So they begin their life on the computer and they end their life also on a computer. So basically, that is what cryptocurrencies are. And of course, we've seen the emergence of different types of those cryptocurrencies. Okay, so you have Bitcoin, which is the most popular and the very first cryptographically created cryptocurrency. Okay, there are people who have confusion between what is digital currency, what is cryptocurrency, and what is virtual currency. There are thin lines of differences between these three kinds of currencies. Okay, but the the key thing there is that if that currency was created using cryptography, then it is cryptocurrency. So you can have centralized cryptocurrencies, and you can also have decentralized cryptocurrencies.
Well, that's amazing.
Okay, so Bitcoin is an example of a decentralized cryptocurrency. There are also other cryptocurrencies that are centralized, but they're also using technology of cryptography to create them. So I just wanted to get out this basic understanding before we get lost in the main issues of the day. Thank you.
Okay, well, that's a wonderful explanation there. So I think Elisha just joined us. Elisha, welcome.
Hello, thank you.
Okay, so we just got started, and can you please introduce yourself to the audience? Yeah.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Elisha of GHCryptoGuy. Could call me any of that. And I've been in the cryptocurrency space since 2016. Most of the time, I have been working on marketing when it comes to cryptocurrency or the cryptocurrency industry. Lately, I've been doing a lot of education here in Ghana. I educate people about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin use cases, and I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Oh, that's amazing. So let me just, Kate, this is your answer. So what can you say about cryptocurrencies, Kate? Like, what are cryptocurrencies? So,
okay, so
all right, just to add up to what our boss said, cryptocurrency is a digital or visual currency that is secured by cryptography. It makes it impossible to counterfeit or to double spend. And the other aspect of it is that it has a different policy with fiat currency. Cryptocurrencies are sheerly regulated in price valuation by demand and supply, basically. So they are totally different in policy to what fiat currencies are. And secondly, the idea of it is that as the demand for the currencies appreciates, the value appreciates. It is anti-inflationary currency, so to say. And in other form, we could say it's an hedge fund against the inflationary currencies that are in existence. That's the fiat. So cryptocurrency makes it impossible to counterfeit first. Secondly, to double spend. Thirdly, to protect you from the present crashing global crashing financial system, which we've been witnessing, and it's rapidly increasing over time.
Okay, well, that's amazing. So the same question, Elisha, what can you say about cryptocurrencies?
I think so. I'm sure a lot has already been said. What
Yeah.
I would add to what has already been said is that cryptocurrencies basically are currencies that take money beyond what money has been over the years. So money has been a particular way. Money has probably been always boring, but cryptocurrencies elevate money from just being money as they are and has made money more complex in the sense that money can do more things. For example, we have Ethereum, which beyond being a cryptocurrency also allows people to do also allows people to make decentralized applications and also allows people to make their own tokens and all. So what cryptocurrency really is money for the 21st century, which is built on principles most of the time that is decentralized and is better than the existing principles that we have. Even though we have a few cryptocurrencies that do not always follow the good cryptocurrency formula, if I should put it that way. Most cryptocurrencies are decentralized, they are transparent, and they are better than fiat currencies. So that's what I'll add, because I think a lot has already been said.
Okay, well, that's amazing. So before I get started to a few basic cryptocurrency questions, let me just give each one of you two minutes to tell us how did you get started with cryptocurrency? When first did you know about cryptocurrency? Just let me start with Chimezie. Chimezie, and you should start, please. Hello? Yeah, Chimezie, if you are listening, the question is, how did you get started with cryptocurrency? Just 2 minutes to tell the audience.
Okay. Getting started with cryptocurrency actually should be through education first.
Oh, sorry. The question is, how did you get started with cryptocurrency? When did you get to know about cryptocurrency?
Okay, when did I get to know about cryptocurrency? Okay. Okay, I bought my first Bitcoin in 2015 at $236 for one Bitcoin. And I kept it in my wallet, but I never really got to use it and get deep on it until 2016, when I had to take a course at the University of Nicosia, Cyprus, for the digital currency program. So effectively, I got my first Bitcoin in 2015, but I got deeper on Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies from 2016 going forward.
So, Kate.
In 2015 was the year I knew about Bitcoin. Okay, something happened. A friend of mine called me and said, Keith, I need this so amount of money and I'm going to give you Bitcoin in return. I don't know what Bitcoin was then. I was working, but then any idea of any investment, I was much younger, never made sense to me. And in 2016, I lost the job that I was actually feeling secured about. And I'm actually a school dropout, university dropout. So at that moment, I don't want to go back to university because that's no way my passion is. And then I lost my job. So I need something that I can be able to fall to, that I can be able to educate myself on with time. And I went on the Google and I searched what can I be able to, what's the future of finance? That's the first thing that came to my mind. And most of the things that popped out was virtual currencies, decentralized finance, and all those things. And that's when I now repeatedly saw the Bitcoin thing. I was like, this thing is making sense. So, in 2016, I bought my first. 2016, I bought my first Bitcoin, and unfortunately, the guy I wanted buying from, because I don't know how to go about it, I met him on Facebook, and he blocked me after I sent the money to him. That was catastrophic, and it actually didn't discourage me, because I fell in love with the idea, the terminologies, the principles, and then the ideology behind the currency. So I now said, now I went through Bitcoin the wrong way and I got scammed. So how can I be able to go through it the right way? So that's how I now learn how to acquire myself, and the passion keep growing. And I went into cryptocurrency education and all those things, teaching people around and hosting seminars and meetups all over.
Okay, wow, that's amazing. So, Elisha, over to you.
Yeah, so I got into Bitcoin properly in 2016. I was into open source technology stuff. I was working with the Mozilla group here in Ghana, and I was contributing to Wikipedia back then. So I'd always been fascinated about open source software. And I figured out that Bitcoin was open source. But the first time I came across Bitcoin was on Al Jazeera. They were doing a news item about Bitcoin mining. And the news item had something like, oh, Bitcoin is not money, it's internet magic money, and it's not real. And people are investing their money to it and it's going to crash, blah, blah, blah. But I was really interested. I was like, wow, what is this? So I got into Bitcoin, and then I went to CoinMarketCap to check out the cryptocurrencies that existed then. Back then, we had a lot of cryptocurrencies that don't even exist now. And I found Dash, an altcoin, which still exists. And I got into the Dash community. And in the Dash community, I started contributing to the project back then through articles and content. And later on, I moved from Dash, went to other altcoin projects. And then now I'm into cryptocurrency education, cryptocurrency content creation. And yeah, that's my Bitcoin story. I didn't start straight from Bitcoin. I actually started from altcoins. But every time I kind of received altcoins, I just converted them to Bitcoin. Because for me, I personally believe that Bitcoin is king. and it's best to always like be like put most of what you should have in the crypto space in Bitcoin. Yeah, so that's my story.
Okay, wow, that's amazing. That's very inspiring story, and also to hear from you guys. So let me go to the next question. So how would one get started with cryptocurrency? I know when getting started with cryptocurrency, you need to know a lot of things, right? There's the education, and also, but now I'm talking about, okay, getting started. Let's say I want to like buy a Bitcoin. I want to receive Bitcoin. So how do I go about it? So this is like, let's say, to a layman that doesn't know all these stuff, right? So I want people to like, okay, break it into pieces so that even a layman can understand, okay, this is how this works, and this is how this works. I need this to acquire Bitcoin. Okay, I need this to do this, and this is where I can go to do this. So I have three minutes for three of you. Just tell us, like, how do you get started properly with it? So Chimezie, you go first this time around.
Okay, thank you. Getting started is pretty easy, but easy is not the way to look at it, because it has to be informed easy. And that begins with selecting the right wallet that you want to use, because Bitcoin has to do with you receiving and sending out your Bitcoin. So that's the basic thing that the wallet does. It helps you to be able to receive Bitcoin and send out Bitcoin. But then, if you do not have sufficient information about wallets, then you may likely make the wrong decision by choosing the wrong wallet. There are right wallets and there are wrong wallets. Apart from the people who want to have you create wallets that they masquerade as though the wallet is secure just to steal your Bitcoin, you need to understand the different kinds of wallets that exist and what each of them offer in terms of feature. So you need to understand that there's what you call custodial wallets and non-custodial wallets. You also need to understand that there are hardware wallets, there are software wallets, there are web wallets, there are mobile wallets. Okay, there are paper wallets. Okay, so you need to understand all these different types of wallets and deeply ask questions or research to find out exactly what are the advantages and the disadvantages of any of these types of wallets, because your future in taking care of your own asset begins with the type of wallets that you eventually end up to use to secure your asset, because at that point you have become your own bank, and being your own bank comes with the responsibility of taking care of your own digital assets that you suffer to earn. Okay, so that's where you start from. As far as I'm concerned, you start from there, choosing and selecting the right wallet. Of course, other things like how to buy and where to buy from comes after you have made that choice of the type of wallet that you want to use. Thank you.
Okay, that's amazing. So Kate, what's your take on this one?
Basically that's that, and then just to add up to that, the security of your wallet. When you now have decided what kind of wallet you should choose, which preferably you go for a decentralized wallet that you control the security of your wallet by securing your private key, copying and securing your private key. This is one I was watching a YouTube video yesterday, and the guy that was actually leading people on how to get started with cryptocurrency, he said he told them to get a wallet, how to buy cryptocurrency, and he's going to tell them about security of their wallet the following day. For me, that was very wrong, because at that moment, before you go into acquiring cryptocurrencies, securing how to get a secured wallet, and secondly, how to protect your wallet. There's this normal phrase which is not your keys, not your Bitcoin. So how can you be able to create a wallet and secure the key first of all, have it well secured before you now look into buying cryptocurrency? So when you get your wallet set up, you back up your wallet by securing the key, private keys of the wallet. The next thing you go to do is what exchange can allow me to acquire cryptocurrency in my jurisdiction, in my location. there are different wallets. Sorry, there are different exchanges for different places. There are exchanges that won't work in Nigeria, especially those some of those in the US. They don't allow Nigerians to acquire cryptocurrency, or people in Africa to acquire cryptocurrency. So you go in search of which exchange can allow me acquire cryptocurrency. Now, there are two ways to do that. First, either you use your MasterCard to buy Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies. Secondly, wire transfer, bank transfer. So you learn on how to go about these things. I think that's some basic thing that one should be able to know.
Okay, so Elisha.
Yeah, so a lot has already been said as usual, but I would add up to it. So on the wallets, as has already been said, there are two main options in terms of the types. We have software wallets and we have hardware wallets. Usually people start with software wallets because they are really accessible and they are free to use. My advice usually is select a wallet that works on multiple platforms, so that if you're moving from iOS to Android and you like the wallet that you're using, you do not have to move to another wallet. You could just move your backup phrase to the same wallet on another operating system. Also, back up your wallet as soon as you create it. So as soon as you create it, back up your wallet and make sure that you have stored it somewhere. Don't store your backup on the cloud. Storing your backup on the cloud will probably create problems for you if you get hacked. So one of the best things you can do is to store it on a piece of paper somewhere, or in a book where you will probably not miss the backup phrase and misplace it. Another thing you should also do is to set up a PIN or password. A PIN or password is something that you set up depending on the wallet you use. Most wallets use PINs on mobile phones, and what this does is it adds an extra layer of security to your wallet. So in a situation where someone should get access to your backup phrase or should hack your wallet, the person won't be able to move the funds because they don't have the password or the PIN that is required to finally move the funds. So the PIN will be used for opening the wallet on your phone and finally sending a transaction. On exchanges, I think there are two main things you should consider, which is the payment method. Not every cryptocurrency exchange or Bitcoin exchange supports all payment methods. And the other thing you should consider are the fees. A lot of new users get into cryptocurrency and are in a hurry to buy Bitcoin without any research, and they end up paying a lot of money for fees. So for example, maybe someone wants to buy 10,000 Naira. The person ends up paying about 2% of that as fees, when they could probably have paid 0.1% of that 10,000 Naira as fees, right? So you should always check out for the fees. And sometimes too, something that people look out for is user experience. User experience is very important because if you do not understand how to use the platform, it even makes it difficult for you to buy Bitcoin effectively and make sure that you have the best of experience. So I think the important things, as have already been said, the wallet and then the exchanges are the ways for you to get into cryptocurrency.
Okay, so that's amazing. So coming back to Kate, I think you start on this one. So there are a lot of platforms out there that allows you to buy cryptocurrencies, right? You buy them. So which are the platforms that you recommend? I'll ask you to recommend three, and also Elisha to recommend three, and Chimezie to recommend three platforms that you can go and buy cryptocurrencies. We are not talking in Africa entirely. So there are some platforms that doesn't allow, let's say, people from Nigeria or Ghana or Kenya to buy cryptocurrencies. But we also have, I think, platforms that are, some of them are even Nigerian platforms, some of them are African platforms, so out there. So which do you recommend? It's for, let's say, a person, a beginner that's going to buy cryptocurrency. Okay, you should just head to this place, you buy cryptocurrency hassle-free. So which are the three platforms that you recommend?
The number one cryptocurrency platform I would recommend for people in Nigeria, Ghana, and a few other countries is BitSeeker. The reason I'm recommending BitSeeker is they have a very good customer care. One thing with a lot of these new exchange startups, some of them don't actually care about what their customer experience is. And people have seen exchanges whereby you lay complaints, and before they get back to you, probably in course of days, which is very bad for business. And for new starters, they might get up hooked or something along the line, and they would want to communicate with the customer care. But BitSeeker, apart from the guy be actively responding as the CEO on Twitter constantly, I think their customer experience and their UX, user experience is simple to navigate on their exchange. It's actually a remittance platform, so it's easy to navigate. So about a BitSeeker, and I would recommend, the first one I started with was Luno, which is still very good. Luno is a very good a platform to acquire. It's a platform that on ramp and off ramp cryptocurrency, so you can either sell or buy your cryptocurrencies on Luno. And probably Paxful. I think Paxful is all over the world. Almost everybody can have access to Paxful. So these are three exchanges or markets you can be able to get your cryptocurrency securely: BitSeeker, Luno, and Paxful.
Okay, so that's great. So over to Elisha.
Okay, so I would assume a lot of the people that are on the call are from Nigeria. Personally, I've been doing a lot of research in terms of exchanges and their fees. And when it comes to fees in Nigeria, one of the best places to buy Bitcoin would be NairaX or Bitcoins Africa. So NairaX or Bitcoins Africa should be the place you should go to if you are looking at the fees. If you're looking at liquidity and reputation, you would most likely want to go to Binance. Binance is the biggest cryptocurrency exchange in the world. And Binance now allows people in Nigeria to buy cryptocurrency directly. So you should look at Binance. And then finally, if you want to buy P2P, like peer-to-peer, directly connect with buyers and sellers and not go through exchanges, then you should look at Paxful. And for you to trade on Paxful, P2P trading is not very simple and straightforward. Honestly, everything in the crypto space is simple, but then as Mr. Chuta said, it's not simple in the sense that you just do things without like knowing what you're doing. You have to know what you're doing. So when you're using P2P platforms, it's advisable that you understand the process and you make sure that you understand how to use the platform to avoid getting scammed. So I'd say buy coins on NairaX for the fee side of things. Reputation and user interface, you go for Binance. And if you're looking for peer-to-peer, you go for Paxful.
Well, that's amazing. So Chimezie, next.
Okay, what I have to say here now, because I think as we have jumped it a bit, is to explain very well to this newbie of the things that he needs to understand about buying Bitcoin in terms of escrowing his transaction.
Okay, yeah.
First of all, there are at least 3 different methods of buying Bitcoin. Either you're buying Bitcoin from a broker. A broker is someone who has already set his buying price and his selling price on his platform. So you go there, you just simply buy at their price that he has already set. No negotiation. So the moment you buy it, he will send you the Bitcoin to the address that you have provided for him. Typically, platform like that, an example of a platform like that is NairaX from Nigeria here. Now, such a platform, there's nothing like escrow. You are just trusting this broker that he's going to keep his word. Secondly, you can also buy Bitcoin from P2P platforms, and that's where you have platforms like Paxful, Local Bitcoin, and Local Crypto, and so on. Here you are dealing with two different people who don't know themselves are transacting. And it's important to understand how the escrow service on each platform works and what are your rights as a buyer and your rights as a seller. Very, very important, because some escrow service will not work like some other escrow service. Okay, so you need to understand the ups and downs of each escrow service in any of the platforms that you're using. And it's also important for you to know that when you are using P2P platforms, you should also check how that platform is storing the trail of that transaction in case there are disputes that will arise. So you make sure that in your charts and in your document submission, you are providing them with the accurate information that will help you in case something goes south in that particular transaction. Of course, the third option is to use a standard exchange like Binance or the other bigger exchanges where there are opportunities for you to like trade with buy orders and every other thing that requires you to make the most of that cryptocurrency transaction. Okay, so those are the basic things. So in Nigeria here, I began to do trading Bitcoin before most of the platforms actually started creating apps here. Okay, so I think I could recommend platforms like Bundle that recently launched. I think they launched 2 or 3 months ago, but they have been doing excellently well because what a beginner needs is actually something that is as simple as what Bundle has actually done at this time. Simply fund your account from a fiat source, sell to them, buy from them, or when you want to sell, you sell to them. They're also like a broker. Okay, so it's easier for newbies to use platform like that. Other platform from Nigeria, you have First Kudi, works very fine. You have Kudi Pay, Kure Pay, yeah, Kure Pay. It works nice too. Okay, so these are a few things I think that a beginner, because I guess even if you record this conversation, a beginner one day will find it useful. So you need to understand this key element I just mentioned now. Thank you.
Okay, that's amazing. So these are some of the platforms that one will go to and will buy cryptocurrencies as in free. So let me go straight to the next question. So cryptocurrencies, let's say I buy my cryptocurrencies, right? I bought cryptocurrencies. Then this is the next question. Taking a look from, let's say, other countries, there is a lot of things, and from the definition of cryptocurrencies, these are digital currencies, digital money that we use. Okay. There's a lot of things that you can do with cryptocurrencies. So this is what I want to know, what actually, let's say, a newbie or a layman would also want to know. Because out there, let me say, you can do a lot of things like, let's say, you buy stuff with it, you do things. This is what the cryptocurrencies, let's say, try to push forward. Also, there are a lot of things. So this is what I want to know. What can you do with cryptocurrencies? So let people know, okay, this is what I can do with cryptocurrencies, and so this is what I can do with them. So first of all, I'll start with Elisha. What can you do with cryptocurrencies? Let's say you buy them, you have them in your wallet. So what can you do with them?
Okay, awesome. So we are looking at the use cases of cryptocurrencies here.
Yes.
The first use case would be normal payments, right? So people can use Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies to pay other people because they are valuable, they have value, and there are so many places where Bitcoin is accepted as payments. So for example, if you want to buy a domain name on the internet, if you go to a place like Namecheap, they allow you to buy a domain name or hosting space with Bitcoin. So the payments could be online payments or offline payments between yourself and your friends, or even situations where you are sending money to someone from other countries. You could use Bitcoin. I know a couple of people in West Africa that work with people outside of like Africa who accepts their money through Bitcoin. I work with people when I get paid in Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, when it comes to like payments, online, offline, cryptocurrency and Bitcoin is a great place to, a great way to do that. And then there are other things that people use cryptocurrency for. So this is something that I honestly would tell people who are new in cryptocurrency or new to like the blockchain ecosystem to take their time and not rush into it, because I see a lot of people in a hurry when it comes to this particular use case, which is speculation and trading. It's one of the biggest use cases, even though it is not the most ideal in a sense for most people. A lot of people buy cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin to speculate. Speculation here means trading. So they want to trade cryptocurrency and make money off it, whether it's sports trading, margin trading, and all the other complex things that we can't go into in this particular call. People like to trade cryptocurrencies. It looks lucrative. It could be lucrative, but it is very risky. You could lose all your money. So I honestly don't advise like new people going into trading immediately. I think it takes a lot of learning and a lot of experience. Other use cases for cryptocurrencies are really endless. I would also mention just a few so that the rest would also speak. Ethereum, for example, is a cryptocurrency that does more than what a normal currency would do. Ethereum has smart contracts. Ethereum allows you to build applications, so decentralized applications on the Ethereum network. So there are so many decentralized applications built on the Ethereum network. There are different cryptocurrencies that allow you to do different things depending on where you want to use it and why you want to use it. There are cryptocurrencies that are there for like privacy. So if you want to have absolute private transactions, there are cryptocurrencies like Monero that you could look at if you want to do that. There are cryptocurrencies that just exist to actually help you use other cryptocurrencies. So we have like exchange cryptocurrencies. Exchanges have their cryptocurrencies that mostly do not have a lot of use cases, but are there to actually like help you use the exchange platform at probably a cheaper rate or get some bonus whilst you use the exchange platform. So it's very broad, but the first important thing for cryptocurrency is payments. Then we have trading, smart contracts, and other popular adopted use cases that are coming up right now.
Okay, so Kate, what can you add on this one?
One of the most well-known uses for of cryptocurrency is for sending and receiving payment at a very low cost and high speed. I think that's one of the very much important use cases. For example, there was this $99 million that was sent that the sender was charged 40 cents for transaction fee. 40 cents for transaction fee at the for a transfer of amount transfer of money that amounted to $99 million. That's super awesome. And a normal conventional system is going to, if you're going to do wire transfer cross-border transaction, is going to take you probably few days, right? 3-4 days. But in cryptocurrencies, within seconds, and then very low cost of transaction fee. So other things you can be able to use cryptocurrencies for, you earn interest on cryptocurrencies when you staking programs, yield farming. They are actually, they allows you to not just in the conventional system, the decentralized system, when you stake, I think it's around 5% in a year, that's fixed deposit, around 5% in a year, but cryptocurrency has a very high interest rate when you stake. So, and some of the things he said, a censorship resistant alternative for store of wealth. I think that's one of the very big important use case of crypto. As I mentioned earlier in my answer, I said the present monetary system is devaluing, the cost of money is reducing. But cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin has shown that you can be able to not just preserve your wealth, but secondly, to have your wealth being multiplied over time. Bitcoin, for example, has multiplied from less than $1 to over $10,000, roughly $9,000 at the moment, within 10 years. Less than $1 to almost $10,000 within 10 years. That's incredibly awesome for any form of a class of asset. So cryptocurrency is a hedge fund against the present inflating economy, financial economy we are facing in the world. One other thing that you can be able to use cryptocurrency for is you get paid when you post content. You get paid when you post content. For example, what we are building in Switch, you get rewarded in cryptocurrencies when you get engaged in socializing, and probably platform like Steemit and Uptrend. And one other thing again is you can use cryptocurrency for traveling across the world. Airbnb offers people to allow people to use cryptocurrency to travel, Chip here as well, Destinia as well, CryptoCrypts as well. So cryptocurrency has a very wide range of use cases, and these are the few I mentioned.
Wow, that's amazing. So, Chimezie, can you add something to this use cases of cryptocurrency?
Okay. Yes. Most of our speakers already have explained most of the use cases that are out there.
Yeah.
But I want to chip in that for me, there are two of the most important or the most significant thing that cryptocurrency has been able to do for me, and I know it has also been able to do for a lot of people. And that is one, to maintain self-financial sovereignty. In other words, completely separate myself from the economic and financial systems that government has provided for its citizen, which has consistently failed to deliver in value to those who are using them. So the fact that I could have my own economic platform that is independent of government is a huge advantage. For instance, I could hold Bitcoin today and I can go any part of this world that I want without holding any bank account, and I will not in any way be restricted from doing my transactions. Secondly, when you have financial self-sovereignty, you hedge yourself against all these devaluations that government policies bring upon the local currencies of different countries, especially so for all of us here. I'm sure most of us here are Africans. Most of the African institutions are actually failed institutions. So you really cannot trust your hard-earned labor on politicians whose interest is only how to loot money and preserve for the third and fourth and to the 10th generation of the people that are not yet born. Okay, so for every one person that is alive today who has not yet identified that there is a way you can hedge yourself against some of these political manipulations, then you should take a look at cryptocurrency. Then secondly, cryptocurrency provides us an opportunity to hedge against inflation. You know, because for instance, Nigerian Naira in this year alone has seen like 33% value loss. Okay, and I can guarantee you that before the end of the year, you might have it more than 50%, because there's no signal anywhere, there's no green light anywhere that shows that things are going to improve in next year. Okay, so you hedge yourself. For instance, if I'm holding a Bitcoin that is valued at $10,000 in January when Bitcoin was less than 5,000, that by this time of the year that Bitcoin is almost 10,000, okay, then the value of my currency will have doubled, even aiming towards tripling. But the Naira equivalent in a bank will have dwindled by more than half. So you see the advantage in holding cryptocurrencies. So I think that these two for me are very dear to my heart, and those are the things that make me smile every day, knowing that PDP, APC, PPP, whatever name they are, they cannot affect my financial stability. Thank you.
Okay, wow, that's amazing. Because one of the promises of cryptocurrency is promise to offer financial freedom to everyone. So that's amazing. So yeah, that's key questions I think I have on getting started. But then I would like to know your thoughts on a few things here while getting started. So getting started with cryptocurrency, this is just like, I'm not going to go in details into a lot of things like trading, because I think we will have maybe another call on this stuff because it's very wide. So, but then I'm just trying to like narrow everything down to the newbie perspective so that he or she would understand, okay, if I want to get started with cryptocurrencies, these are the things I need. Okay, this is what I need. This is what I need to do. So that's just it. So in looking at, let's say, in Africa, right, we have a lot of problems coming up. We have a lot of problems that not even Africa, in the world, A lot of people don't understand, okay, what cryptocurrencies are. Like the technology itself, the blockchain technology, a lot of people don't understand. So you find out that most people, when getting started, before they, let's say, realize what they are into, it's not actually cryptocurrency. Like Kate, what the Kate just said, they get scammed and they all, I said, they fall into the wrong hands. So yeah, I have been seeing, let's say, WhatsApp groups. What's your take on these platforms? Well, what's your take on this? Like, so that the newbie should try in as much as possible to understand. Okay, this is not cryptocurrency. This is a scam, or this is a Ponzi. There's a lot of, let's say, these programs coming up, and people definitely do invest a lot of money in them. Before they realize, they get scammed, and the owners of the, let's say, program are nowhere to be found. So I think, what can you people say, like, to newbies? Okay, this is how they identify these scams, and this is how they this is not cryptocurrency, because most of these programs, they hide behind the face of cryptocurrency or blockchain or smart contracts. They make people invest a lot of money and they end up running with them. So what advices can you give to newbies on how to identify those scams so that they should not fall for them? So I think I'll start with Elisha on this one.
Okay, so I think one of the biggest problems that we have is the fact that there is this notion that cryptocurrency or Bitcoin is a get money rich.
Yeah.
So a lot of people come in with the idea that they are going to make a lot of money at the end of their first month, or by the end of the year they should be driving a Lamborghini or have a house or have a nice car that they want. And I think that's the first thing that people need to understand. That is not how it works. If you realize that is not how it works, it's kind of like cools or quench your thirst to get rich quickly, which is what most of these scams leverage to scam people in the first place. So be careful about greed. Like, don't be extremely greedy to the extent that you would do anything without actually reading the fine prints or going through due process and doing your due diligence before you invest or put money anywhere. So that's one of the first things. Now, most of these scams, funny enough, are not innovative. Like, they mostly take the same form, especially the ones in Africa that I have seen. They mostly take the same form. As we are speaking right now, I have a Ghanaian group, and there's a guy that posted a very new one called Lion Share or something like that. most of these projects are like pyramid schemes that ask you to refer people to make huge sums of money or huge sums of profits. One of the biggest red flags is when someone guarantees you profit. Someone says that you would get this amount of profit at the end of the month for sure. That is something that I honestly, every time you see that, run. Don't like even try to look into it further, because most of the time it's a scam. So you see someone telling you, oh, bring $100 and I'm going to give you $1,000 at the end of the month, or bring $100, I'm going to mine Bitcoin for you and give you like this amount of money every month. And it doesn't work like that. So stay away from like high profit. Like there are some profit margins that might be reasonable, but still do your research. But then most of like stuff that says 30%, 20%, 50%, even some goes to the extent of saying they're going to give you 100% profits, which is really crazy anyway. Please stay away from those things. Another thing too that you have to look at is who is behind the project or who is behind the platform. So there are so many exchanges that pop out of nowhere. And I'm happy that we had to discuss exchanges. Sometimes you will see a Google ad saying buy Bitcoins in Nigeria or buy Bitcoins in Ghana. You click on the ad, you try to buy the Bitcoin, you send your money, and you never get your money back. You never get the Bitcoin. Or you try to sell Bitcoin, you send the money, and you never get like the money in your bank account. So always do your best to look at who is behind the platform. It's very easy to Google search like who registered a particular domain name. Even that one is like too much of a stretch. We have people on Twitter that I would say are like very reasonable people in the space, that anytime you're not sure of a particular project or something, you could just tag any of them and ask a question. But then it's very important for you to do your own research. So one, I would say stay away from like high profit stuff. Also be very careful about greed. Also stay away from projects that don't have human beings behind them. Like there's no face of the project. There's no one you can talk to if you should like have a problem. there's no one that's actually taking blame in the case where something goes wrong. I feel like that's something you should most likely stay away from. And when I say that, someone will be like, but Bitcoin, who's Satoshi Nakamoto?
Exactly.
Yeah, so I'm going to just clear that question before we even have to go through that conversation. It's very simple. Bitcoin has so many developers, right? So Satoshi Nakamoto is not the only person in Bitcoin. So there are so many people to look up to or to speak to in case you have issues, let's say with the Bitcoin code, etc. So it doesn't apply here when I'm talking about projects that don't have a face. So that's something you should also look at. Another thing you should also be careful about are these things that tell you that, when you refer each member you refer, you get a part of, there are referral programs in the cryptocurrency space. And it's I'm struggling to tell you the difference between scams and legitimate projects, because these days, a lot of the scams have also adopted things that seem legitimate. So Binance has a referral program. Binance is a legitimate program company. Then this scam comes out of nowhere and also runs a referral program, which then makes you think, if Binance has a referral program, then having a referral program from this company is not also bad. But always look at the difference between what these legitimate companies are offering and what these other non-legitimate projects are offering. Because there's always a difference that gives you a very clear picture of whether or not something is fake or is a scam or not. So please be very careful with your money. You could lose all the money you intend to bring into cryptocurrency just because of the fact that you are greedy. I've been in the cryptocurrency space for a long time, and I usually don't I usually don't fall for scams, but then I have fallen for scams that have made me lose huge sums of money. For example, I did an OTC trade, a peer-to-peer trade, without using Paxful or any of the peer-to-peer platforms. It was on Slack, and I lost a very huge amount of money on Slack because after I sent the money to the person disappeared. And when I tried to track the money by reporting to the exchange he sends the money to, they couldn't do anything because the transfer did not happen on the exchange. So be very careful. Otherwise, you might just hit the cryptocurrency ecosystem as a whole because of that.
Okay, wow, that's a wonderful, what will I say, a point there, Elisha. So, yeah, before we go to Chimezie, I think you should add something on this. Then I'll add a question to Chimezie to answer. It's okay. What's your take on this? How do people stay away?
Elisha has covered a lot. I would say, as a starter in cryptocurrency, go for Bitcoin. Before you understand how the schematics and every other thing works, go for Bitcoin. Make sure you have access to your private keys well secured. That's the fundamental genesis. Any other thing can come afterwards. But in the beginning, so that you won't be able to know which one is which one is not which. At the beginning, buy your first Bitcoin. You can later multiply your portfolio into different cryptocurrencies, into different whatever you want to, staking or whatever. But in the beginning, buy your Bitcoin because it's very important that you should understand what you are going into. So I wouldn't want to talk much on this. The first thing you do, buy Bitcoin. Is as simple as that. Over time, you can educate yourself on so many other things that can be able to probably help you diversify your portfolios.
Okay, so that's amazing. So, Chimezie, I think in Nigeria, this question goes to you directly. I think because you own that the Blockchain Association of Nigeria, and I just came to realize these kind of scams. These are what, let's say, what stop people from getting into cryptocurrency. Stop people from knowing about cryptocurrency or using about cryptocurrency because they think okay, cryptocurrencies is a scam, it's a hoax. They don't believe it because all of these scams that run, let's say, behind the background. So I think I came to, just in the WhatsApp, someone sent a link to me about something, is it Inkscoin or something like that. So I had to check up these stuff. Then I see, okay, there are even articles wrote by, is it the SEC or something like that, and also SEC Nigeria, and also the Blockchain Association or something. So they said that the Inkscoin is not registered. So these people are claiming to be say a Nigerian cryptocurrency. So these are scams that have been running for years and people still fall for it. So what's your take on this one? How will people try to look up look up information about these scams so that they won't fall for them again. So these are what scams, these are what stop people from getting into cryptocurrency. So how would one prevent himself from getting into these scams?
Okay, thank you for the question. I'll have to begin by saying that most Africans, including a reasonable number of Nigerians, got to know about cryptocurrency, especially Bitcoin, through a scam, MMM. And that scam has been the one single element that has been controlling people who get eventually scammed in the crypto space, which is that promise that when they get into cryptocurrency, they're going to get 2x, 5x, 10x, 20x return over an XYZ period of time. And that is really something that these scammers know, that there will be fools that will always be separated from their money because of greed. So they design programs to appeal to greedy people, greedy-minded people. Now, there is no amount of education that we can do in this space that will stop greedy people from going after the scam project, because it's in their blood. That's one. Secondly, even if we were to educate people as much as we can and open their head and put the information inside their head, they will still eventually be the ones that will make their decisions to part with their money at that point when these scam projects are presented to them. So these are the underlying facts I want to bring out first. Now, let's move forward. It is not difficult to identify fake projects. A couple of years ago, one of my friends told me that if there's any place in the world that anybody can put 1 naira and get 2 naira, and it is genuine, before any of us will hear about it, all the banks will arrive there and put all the money that we have into that place to get the money back. So he told me that to let me know that if the people that I respect in investing are not jumping into it, then you need to take a second look at it. So many of the people who go to these places are people who have this mindset that they can get something for nothing. And as far as this world is still in existence, there are people like that, they will still be there, and scams will still be running. It's not, cryptocurrency is not the origin of scammers. I mean, in the days when there were no cryptocurrency, people used to do money doubling, and they're still doing it with crypto today. So it's only that crypto has enabled them to transfer the scam methods that they used to operate into a decentralized environment, so that tracing them will be a little bit more difficult, and receiving money from multiple locations will be a little bit more easy. Now, when we had a regulations meeting, a webinar last month, I specifically asked the SEC director of registration at SEC Nigeria, how we can possibly classify certain projects as scams, if it were to be so. And what the feedback I got from him was that, well, there are standards for them to list things as scam. But what Security and Exchange Commission will say is scam, they are telling you that it's scam from an investor's perspective, and they can warn the society, but they cannot prevent individuals from going to do them. And what I have also found out is that there are some group of people who are either creating these scam projects, or they are very good promoters of this scam project. So they are always listening for the new scam project that will consider they will be the first to join, and they will use their massive control of followership that they have on social media to spread that crypto scam, so that before anybody will start shouting, it's not a scam, it's not a scam, they would have made their millions and cash out and be waiting for the next scam to come. So what do we need to do? We need to, of course, keep on educating people. It is not easy to see a project and just term it scam on the face value. But when we look at a project and analyze its core principles, we can tell whether this project is going somewhere or not, or whether he's just here to rip people off their hard-earned money. So we need to intensify on our education. We need to intensify on our enlightenment, so that people will at least be warned. They say to be forewarned is to be forearmed. But then we'll leave the people to finally decide for themselves exactly what they want.
Wow, that's amazing. That's great. Because these are the kind of problems that most people face when it comes to cryptocurrencies. And this is why it's, let's say, a lot of people don't engage in cryptocurrencies because of these scams. But then, if not because of these scams, I see why not will you not use cryptocurrencies? So that's it. So before we close, I think please, if among the attendees, if you have any question, please you can keep them in the chat, or you can unmute yourself and ask the speakers if you have any question in mind. I just don't want to like say go for that, because maybe you might arrange another call on some other specific topics regarding cryptocurrencies. But I try to, as much as possible, just keep it like getting started, because this is just like the first program. We'll bring in more of this type of program with these amazing speakers to come and talk about a lot of aspects of cryptocurrency. So if you have any question regarding getting started, please you can unmute yourself and ask those questions, yeah, so that they can answer you. So, and Ayo, Jide, if you have any question, please, you can also ask, please, Ayo.
There's someone on this call, Shadrach Egbugu.
Okay, yeah, okay.
I think he is suitable to also lend in his own view on this crypto scam thing. I think he did a write-up some time ago. I was actually checking his Facebook page to see some of the laid down.
Wow, Shadrach, you're welcome. Okay. You can unmute
yourself. Let Shadrach share a little bit information on how to identify
crypto scams. How newbies can identify crypto scams. Shadrach.
Yeah, hello.
Hello, Shadrach. Hello.
Yeah, good day to everyone on this call. And thanks, Mr. Chuta, for bringing me on. I've been following the discussion right from the very onset, and that has been quite enlightening. And I think those who would listen to this later on would really appreciate the content that has been given here. With regards to crypto scams, yes, they are all over the place. And most times when you hear about them, you know, it's quite very ridiculous and surprising how, you know, even learned minds, you know, would succumb to such, you know, such platforms and ideas. Now, fundamentally, what I tell people is this: there's nothing like multi-level marketing in cryptocurrency. So anything that is a multi-marketing level crypto is a scam, because you don't have multi-level marketing attached to sovereign national currencies as fiat. There's no multi-level marketing attached to the Nigerian naira. There's no more multi-level marketing attached to the US dollar or any sovereign national currency. So why would you think that you have to, you know, subscribe to a platform or whatever it is in a cryptocurrency space that tells you that you need to bring two persons who need to bring other two persons for the currency to work? That is a misnomer. That is a misnomer. Then secondly, what attracts people into Ponzi schemes are, one, lack of education or poor due diligence. Secondly, greed. Greed is a good thing, but when greed is uncontrolled, then you are firing a miss, because there is somebody out there who is either smart or thinks he's smart to, you know, take advantage of your greed and would scam you. For example, I have a junior colleague, because I'm a medical doctor by profession. I have a junior colleague who, you know, a colleague of mine, a classmate of mine, you know, sent to me. I was like, I should mentor him in the cryptocurrency space. and he came along and we began talking. Chuta is aware of this case. So I began, teaching him about Bitcoin, sent him materials and everything. And the next thing I heard, like 2-3 days later, was that his message now was like, please, boss, don't be angry. I was like, what? What happened? He said he wants to tell me. I said, okay, what happened? He said he was scammed. That he sent about 200,000 naira, Nigerian naira to somebody to buy Bitcoin, and he never got his Bitcoins. And when I asked him how, it was just simple. Because sometimes, there's the Bitcoin price is determined by, the economic interplay in the free market that is attached to the Bitcoin, to Bitcoin itself as a currency. And each day there's a price for Bitcoin relative to whatever country or fiat currency that you operate in. Now in Nigeria, most times it revolves around 400. And the guy told him that I can sell Bitcoin for you for about 340 naira per $1 Bitcoin. And he got, enticed by that. Whereas at that same point in time, a Bitcoin would have been selling for about 420 naira per dollar Bitcoin. So you see that in this search for looking for cheap Bitcoin, or in a way to, shortcut, buying Bitcoin at the normal price, you find people looking for who can sell cheaper to them. And as a result, they fall for scams. Now, characteristically, when you look at scams, the US SEC, actually gave a detailed document about that, how to identify a scam. Firstly, is that the first red flag you would see is a guaranteed or a fixed high return on investment, which is not possible because there is no tree for plucking money in the world. So when you have a fixed, guaranteed high return on investment, that is a major red flag because there is no business, even life circumstances, that is fixed or guaranteed. There are always risk, there are always, volatility, there's always uncertainty. So there's nothing like fixed. Then secondly, there is no consistent or how do I put it? There is no cash flow sustainability because there is no product, neither is there a service being served by the company. The only means of cash flow is to run Peter to people. So if a newbie does not sign, if a gullible newbie does not sign up, having been deceived, the old guys wouldn't get paid. And most of these systems are structured in a pyramid way, which means you have the founders or the creators and their key marketers at the top, and they begin to recruit, and the monies are being sucked up towards them. So when there is no product, there is no service, all they just need is newbie money. Of course, it's a scam. Another thing is this: these scams are not registered in the countries where they operate. Just like Mr. Chuta said, like for the Ink Nation scam, it's quite alarming. We have gone after these guys as much as possible, educate the community and those who can get across to, but you still find people falling for these scams like they were blood flowing in their systems. They are not registered in their native countries. You can go to the SEC of your country and find out, okay, is this thing registered? Sometimes you won't have the SEC would have even labeled them to be scams. So find out if they are registered. Then another thing is this: there is no obvious mechanism for profit. Now, somebody introduces you to a platform or to a company and says, okay, put in $1. By month end, you're going to have a fixed amount of money come to you as a return on investment, or a daily 1 to 5%. Now, you should want to find out, okay, what is the mechanism? What does this company do to give them profit to sustain payments? Because one other gullible, pitch that these scammers project is the fact that the system is working, it is paying. So you see them go on social media, daily flaunt their pays. It is paying, it is paying. And that mentality fuels the system because people keep on believing that it is pain, it is pain, it is pain until it stops pain when they are no longer newbies to be deceived. We all saw this in 2016, in 2017, and even 2018. Most of them began to die down with the crypto bear market. And of course, when the bull cycle begins to return, you begin to find these scammers either come up with old methods or better package an old method to begin to deceive people.
Oh,
Now, as an example, currently there's this very funny idea that's very stupid that people have been coming up with: smart contracts.
Yeah.
I don't just understand what is going on. Even the guy who is telling you about the smart contract has no freaking idea what a smart contract is. He does not understand what the smart contract is. And you see people believing that now believing that somehow the ultimate function of a smart contract is to mint money. So they go on telling you that there's this Ethereum smart contract. Just put your money inside and it will give you money. Just like, Twitter and the Nigerian community will understand what we call Kalo in Nigeria. You toss a coin into a machine and they spin it, and maybe by chance you just get out some money out of it. It doesn't work that way. But I believe that with education, at least we can save a few of them. Of course, you can't stop people from putting their money into scams. And one other thing I know is this, because I have also learned the hard way. Loss is a good teacher. Is a good teacher. I think that's
that's an amazing point, Shedrack. Like it's nice to have you on Discord. So thank you very much for this contribution. I think we'll maybe have you maybe another time to maybe speak more about these cryptocurrency scams because it's very important in the society. So thank you all. So I think yeah. So Ayo DJ, do you have something to add on?
Yeah, okay. Like, I'm actually not going to be adding anything because the top guys that are here today have actually done a lot of justice to whatever we are discussing. But talking about education, I think there's something I would like us to do. If for those that have platforms like that doing education, I know of Blockchain Nigeria User Group and the rest of them, can you please help us drop a link so that for people that picks up the video and go over another time, they can pick them up and join the group for continuous education to ensure that they are secured. Then let me just say thank you for the knowledge shared, and I'm sure it just starts to what we are looking to achieve, and we'll keep getting better at it. Thank you again for having us here. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you also. I think that's just it. So I think you guys will be expecting us because we'll be reaching out to all of you for some amazing content regarding cryptocurrency. This is what because society needs the education. So I think maybe also reaching out to Chimezie on some how mining also works. This might be a call for another day. So thank you, Chimezie, Kate. Thank you for being on Discord, and Elisha, thank you also for being on Discord.
So much.
So I think we'll be doing this more frequent because this is seriously what the community needs. So thank you all for joining Discord. So please, just final remarks, then we call it a day. Yeah, Chimezie.
Yeah, thank you so much. It has been a very enlightening session this morning. And I encourage everyone, because I believe that everybody here is into the space. So wherever you are, keep spreading the word, keep sharing the benefits of cryptocurrencies as far as you're experiencing the advantages in your different regions. And definitely Africa will find a way to come out of the woods utilizing this technology.
So thank you. Kate.
I always do say this. For me, cryptocurrency is more of a faith thing. Let me put it this way: when you discover, like in my religion, when you come in contact with your salvation, there's this excitement that you can't keep it to yourself, and you find yourself telling people and sharing the good news to other people. There's no way you would be in cryptocurrency and you don't find it exciting, understanding its principles and its ideologies, even before it benefits me directly at that moment. By understanding it alone, you find it exciting, and you can't keep that good news to yourself, but rather whoever comes in contact with you, comes in contact with you in the very first moment, you should be able to be in position to gladly share the good news with them. We are the early adopters, which we are privileged, and our biggest responsibility is to be able to keep sharing this good thing we found.
Okay, wow. So Elisha.
Yeah, the Bitcoin cryptocurrency ecosystem has a lot of opportunities. Take your time. I know sometimes we are in a rush to like get the best of what we want as possible, but we should be very, very careful that we do not have impossible expectations. We manage our expectations, and then we know what we are doing. So I'll just say that if you ever have questions or anything, the people on this call are fantastic people you should reach out to, and feel free to reach out to any of us if you have any questions concerning Bitcoin cryptocurrency. We'll be available to answer them. And yeah, looking forward to seeing more Africans in the space as cryptocurrency and Bitcoin adoption grows on the continent.
Okay, that's thank you all for joining this call. So I think we are going to call it a day. So please let's share on social media. Let's keep retweeting. So that's what people need, education. Let people know about this stuff is happening. So that they can join, because most people don't even know. So but then we have also recorded this call. I think we upload it on YouTube so that others can keep sharing the links. So thank you all for joining this call. It's nice having you all. So let's continue doing this. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, and goodbye.
Okay,
Bye.
thank you.